Hello and welcome back to Fir Park, first update of 2018, so Happy New Year to you all. I've made a start on the scenery. To start with, I've put some brick retaining wallpapers which I printed off the internet, simple Google image search, and I put those along there to where the scenic area ends. I should probably put another one there just so it's not severe as it goes off scene. And I've made a start on the scenery in the corner here. I didn't know quite what to do, but I've used a block of DAS modelling clay and I've sculpted it round the corner to make like an embankment and a bit of raised up ground. And I painted it with some Woodland Scenics earth colour undercoat, used some Woodland Scenics blended turf scatter, some old fir trees which I managed to source from the spares box, and a Hornby scaled L peel box which I've put in there as well. I think that looks quite a good location for that, sort of overlooking everything, keeping an eye on the distillery and everything. And it goes well with the half relief building I scratch built a few years ago. I've also put some odd sleepers at the side there, just scattered about as you see. And I think that does look quite good. I didn't want too many fir trees, but just enough to give a nice little scene over there. And I've started that corner, which is what I wanted to do, and I shall carry on putting a bit of hard standing in front of the distillery, ballast the track, and then that scene there, and ballast the track round to there, and that'll be a nice little project to get back into it around there. There's the pillbox just going a bit further. Right, so the materials I used are here. So we've got Woodland Scenics blended turf, and that is the product code. I think it's T1349. I think that's the catalogue code. The earth undercoat, C1229 Woodland Scenics. The DAS modelling clay, which you can pick up for a couple of £1 for a block. It's good stuff this. You can sculpt it, mould it how you want. It's not messy, even though you get a residue on your hands. It washes off in seconds. And it reminds me a bit of plasticine I used to have years ago. It's pretty good stuff. There's the pillbox. What's the code reference on that? R8787 Hornby scaled L pillbox. So that's what I've been using to do that little scene over there. So I'm pleased with that. And that brings me on to a purchase. As you can see, I've got a DVT, and as it stands at the moment, 4 Mark IVs, leading on to a Class 91. Now I got this from a local model shop, 50 quid for the whole lot. I think the 91 is the train set version because it's got the plastic pantograph, but I'm not too fussed about that. I can paint that or weather it or something in time. It works perfectly, mint condition. Since purchasing this, I've managed to source another couple of first class Mark IV coaches in mint condition for about 15 quid each. So that'll give me a 6 coach rate plus the power, the nut loco and DVT. And then I just need to source the restaurant buffet car, which I think those are a little bit harder to find because a lot of people just had the train set back in the day, and these standard coaches are 2 a penny. There's hundreds of these around, but the first class ones and the buffet ones are a little bit more harder to find. But these operated on the East Coast main line up to Edinburgh, obviously after the wires went up. The period I'm predominantly modelling is late 80s, before the wires reached Edinburgh. But I do like these, and I'm pleased with it. It's an iconic train. That I remember having a train set one years ago, and I don't know what happened to it. I think it got lost in, or broken or something, as things do. But I'm pleased with it. I thought that was something a bit different. It's made in Great Britain, original Hornby, but it's mint condition. So we'll get that running on the layout at some stage. It's not named, some of them are named, but it's just a normal one. All the coaches are in mint condition. And what else have I been doing? I replaced some of the trees over here because I did borrow a couple of the fir trees for the other scene. So some of the other spare trees I had, I put there. And that's a motor rail terminal, hence why there's a few trees there and it looks a bit smart looking because it's a motor rail terminal. So you drive on through these bits with a ramp. I might put another ramp across there with an end piece covering that to make it a bit more easier to drive on, but as it stands it's going to be a motor rail terminal with the coach there, so you park up, you get on board and then it's shunted round to the station to be attached to a train. So that's what I've been doing with that. With regards to the other corner over there, nothing's happening on that yet because I've got all these ideas for starting this and that, but you just don't get the time, so I'm doing steady jobs because I didn't do a lot on this layout and I wasn't losing interest, but it's just everything else was happening and I'm busy, and I thought, well, you know, let's just get back into it again with an easy to do scenic section, which is what I've done there. And I'm going to concentrate on that and I'm going to do it in stages and get it right and take my time with it. So one tip that I picked up from, I think it was Tony Northeastern, I picked up some cork strips from the local DIY store, and you can rough them up a bit and you can actually lay them down sort of upright and they paint them and they look like stone walling. I thought that was ingenious, that, and it probably saves goodness knows how much. So thanks Tony for that. If you do watch these videos, that's a really good idea. So that's where we're at the moment. So I've done a little bit of scenic work in the corner there and got the ball rolling with that, which I'm pleased about. Just have another look at that. I think the pillbox does look good. Just gives it a little bit more of a atmosphere to it, and that. I might weather that up as well and put a bit of moss on it, because obviously it wouldn't be in pristine condition now. It would be covered in moss, so it needs to be, you know, weathered up a bit. Yeah, that's where we're at with that. So and all eyes are on Oxford Rail now for the ScotRail Mark III coaches. I've still got my elderly Lima ones that are about 30 odd years old, and let's just hope they come out. The intercity ones have come out, so the ScotRail ones must be imminent, so let's hope they come out. Right, so that's it for this update. Thanks for watching, and as ever, I take inspiration from a number of layouts on YouTube, Tony Northeastern, Dean Park Station. I've been watching Everard Junction as well, and a number of other videos, and that gives me a inspiration, even though my modelling isn't quite up to the standards of that. You know, everybody's different, everybody has different levels of modelling ability and that, and I do take note and pick up advice and things from those videos, so you know, that's one of the good things of doing this. And also thanks to my new subscribers. I've had a few subscribers recently, so thanks a lot, and I'm glad you show an interest in what I'm doing, and that's it for this update, so see you in the next update. Thanks.